morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us across the globe. My name is Kelvin Jiraji. This is the AfriDes podcast, the African Digital Economy Summit podcast, your gateway into the African digital economy landscape, exploring the happenings, the emerging trends, the collaborations, the partnerships happening on the continent of Africa around digital transformation. Today, we'll be talking to the amazing Raj Kapoor, the founder and CEO of Indian Blockchain Alliance. Excuse me, I'm so passionate about Africa. Today, we'll be looking at the role of strategic alliance with a specific focus on the Indo-African alliance in accelerating the digital future of Africa. Today, we are speaking with Raj Kapoor. And then to take it off immediately, hello, Raj Kapoor.
Kelvin, good to see you again. Good to be here.
Okay, thank you. So let's begin with who is Raj Kapoor?
Who is Raj Kapoor?
Yeah.
You've actually asked me a very difficult question. My wife is still trying to figure out who is Raj Kapoor, but I'll try and make it easy for everybody. Well, I'm somebody who nobody thought in the whole world that I would get into the blockchain space. I don't come from a technology background. I learned blockchain at the age of 48 in 2010. I was a blockchain miner. I was a Bitcoin miner, actually, friends. Not many people know that I'm India's first Bitcoin miner. And I started mining for fun. At that time, the value was not even 90 cents for a Bitcoin. And I had a lot of fun mining a lot of Bitcoin. But I realized over a period of time that Bitcoin is fine, it's a good use case, but what's the technology that makes it tick? And that's when I felt I must deep dive into blockchain. So I dived into that blockchain big time at the age of 48, my friends. Now I'm 62 and I'm loving it. Trust me, in the last 14 years, I've built 4 layer 1 blockchains. I'm building the 5th one now. I'm building a layer 0 blockchain, 5 DEXs. I don't know how many swaps, how many other projects. Right now, 157 projects across the globe. Now, that's not too bad for somebody who didn't know technology. So my friends, if you're listening in, if you don't know technology, it doesn't matter. Just have the passion. Have the passion, you'll be able to make it. Now, I came in India 2018 back again from the United States. I was in the States for some time. That's when I was doing the Bitcoin mining in India. It's not allowed. So I set up the India Blockchain Alliance, and Raj Kapoor became synonymous with India Blockchain Alliance. Everybody who thought of blockchain started thinking of me. And in the last 6 years, we've done some fantastic work. Now we work in India with more than 500 universities and colleges. We set up centers of excellence out there, which I would love to replicate in Africa myself. And Kelvin is the right guy for that. We are going to do it together, I'm sure. Then I work with, I don't know how many companies in India, but I'm also on the advisory board of more than 80 companies globally. I'm also on the advisory board of a lot of Indian companies, which are very large companies like the Tata Group. I work with several governments. I sit on the crypto policy for the government of India, Ministry of Finance. I work with the G20 for the standards committee for the crypto standards and blockchain standards. And now I'm in Goa. I'm also working with the government of Goa. I work very nicely with the startup ecosystem. I work with the governments. I work on policy. I work on frameworks. You name it. And today, blockchain has become my life. And with blockchain, all the other technologies come because blockchain doesn't work in isolation. It works with IoT. It works with AI. It works with cybersecurity. So my friends, Raj Kapoor is one guy who loves technology. He's one guy who loves life also. And the one guy who loves his wife as well. All 3 things put together makes Raj Kapoor a very happy man.
Yeah, thank you. That's an amazing way to start. Raj, at AfriDes, we believe that Africa is a strategic landscape for the emerging technology.
Absolutely.
Yes. Our focus is on Africa. So please, can you provide us an overview of the Indian African Alliance and its significance in today's technology landscape?
Well, I tell you one thing. The Africa represents a very huge untapped market especially in the tech space. I've seen such a lot of things happening. They're very exciting. People are very hungry for good knowledge. They're hungry for all good technologies. I've seen that. I work a lot in Africa. I work in Nigeria, of course, in South Africa. I work in Zambia. I'm working in Kenya right now. In fact, in Kenya, I'm putting the regulations for the Kenyan government in place. So I know there's a lot happening. Companies want to expand their operations out there. A lot of people want to get there, but they don't know how to get there. There's a lot of economic churn out there. There's a lot of that means economic growth also. Helping African countries build the tech infrastructure is paramount now. And I think India would really be a very key partner in making that happen. It's like we've always had the same challenges. The challenges have been similar because we are both, agrarian countries. Both of us have had challenges in the past: climate, economy, governments, etc. It's India's now taken a lead somewhere, so we can share our learnings and experience and share with Africa, which has got a fantastic young population ready to go. Actually, Africa is a powerhouse, which no one can imagine. It's just how to harness it that's important. And for that, an alliance is really very critical, because that's where you bring experience and youth together and then take the nations ahead. Not only Africa, even India moves ahead with that. So I think an alliance is what? It's like a partner, it's like a marriage. Two people get married and they make magic after that. That's exactly what this alliance is. And I think that's what all alliances should be. That's what I'm hoping to have along with Kelvin there. A wonderful alliance to make Africa the superpower of the world. And I think that's completely possible while I'm alive.
Yeah, thank you. There, to take it off from there, how do you see the Indian African Alliance contributing to the digital transformation of African economies?
Let's break it down into what's required for that. Digital transformation is a great word, yes, but what do we require to make things digitally transformed? We need infrastructure. We need government support, whether it is India or Africa. I say it for both countries. We need a lot of skill development initiatives, because capacity building, unless you make blockchain or any other technology mainstream and right from the level of education from colleges, it's not going to happen. So to have any digital transformation, in my opinion, you require complete government support. You require awareness around that. You require a lot of actually mentors who can guide you into careers and opportunities, bring about more innovation, lots of research. That's the space. And you don't have to make it difficult. There are immediate problems, pressing problems. Ask ourselves, can the digital transformation solve those problems? If the answer is yes, you got it there. But I still say there's a lot of Africa which does not get internet, which does not get electricity. I think that's the first thing which we need. We need to have a structure, the digital infrastructure in place. So while we have physical infrastructure, the digital infrastructure should be in place. Connectivity should be positive. Everything will work from there, because we are now living in a connected world. This is the new connected world. And if we don't have infrastructure, we're going to have a problem for sure. We also need to have a lot of encouragement in this space for a lot of young startups. I think startups should be encouraged. And again, it percolates down from the government supporting startups and new businesses. That's where the digital transformation will come, because there are things that are happening all across the world. Why not so much in Africa? Because it's a little disjointed. An alliance will bring this all together, because alliance brings in partners from all corners of the world and makes things happen. And that's what we've seen at India Blockchain Alliance. So by having in Africa, we could replicate the similar model. So the digital transformation is happening. I see a lot of things happening, a lot of young startups coming up from in Africa, also lots in Nigeria. Kelvin is doing some great work there. Keep seeing his work, wonderful stuff. Absolutely, this is the place where we are going to be in the future. And how do we make this a reality? That's important, because as you asked me about digital infrastructure, we need to build technology hubs. Apart from getting government and institutional partnerships, we need to build technology hubs. We need to have a lot of bilateral research and development, which as two countries we can do. Investment and funding mechanisms should be in place. A lot of people have great ideas. They don't have access to funds. They don't have access to the VCs, the seed capitals. Where do these people come from? How do we approach them? What's the best line of approach? we need to have a proper mechanism in place. That mechanism is going to be the success factor. And finally, you got to skill your workforce. If you don't have skilled workforce, you have all the infrastructure, but you have unskilled workforce, it's going to fall flat on its face. So I think that's the key to make this happen, to make the digital transformation of Africa a reality.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What specific lessons, innovations, or technology do you think Africa can learn from India, or do you think can be successfully implemented from in Africa? What specific innovations do you think is existing already, or framework is existing already in India that can be replicated in Nigeria, copy and paste with local alignment that you think can be successfully implemented in Africa?
I think what Africa is an agrarian country, a lot of such solutions in the agri sector, the supply chain, all that is broken. That needs to be fixed. That's what I'm glad you're doing that. Now, one of the key things we need to do is bring this technology, bring the learning at college, at the level of the universities. I think that's a very key thing to make anything happen. Whether it's agriculture, healthcare, I see e-governance, supply chain. These are four major places where I see Africa taking a lead role, because these are broken, fragmented, and these can be joined. That's an opportunity. I always look at it as an opportunity. I don't look at it as a problem. I look at it as an opportunity. For that to happen, my suggestion always would be start at the very base. So lay the genesis block at the education levels. I'm happy to work along with you, Kelvin, to set up the centers of excellence in these colleges, in these universities, and create a skilled workforce, an African skilled workforce that will have the Industrial Revolution 4.0 skills. That includes, of course, blockchain, includes artificial intelligence, and includes IoT, cybersecurity. We'll bring it. So we've set up in India, for example, centers of excellence in emerging technologies at the college levels, at the university levels. And that's doing really well. In fact, in the last 1 year, 82 patents have been filed by universities and the students, which is a lot in the blockchain space, which is a lot considering the fact that it's a very nascent space. I'm sure we can do the same in Africa. Second, as I told you, we bring this in place. We bring the financing mechanisms in place. We bring government support. We should actually work at the government should tell these are the problems we have, and students should be, and us, we should find the solutions for them using blockchain and new technologies. I think that's going to be these two, three critical factors will bring in mass adoption. At the end of the day, if you don't have the government supporting, you won't have anything. But if the government does support or does encourage startups in this space, it'll be a big, big thing.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, this is the AfriDes podcast. We are having conversations with Raj Kapoor, the founder and CEO of Indian Blockchain. To take it up further, Raj, Africa has a very young demographics.
Yes.
So how do you foresee job creation evolving from Africa as a result of increased digital investment and collaboration from India?
See, as I told you, India has a lot of experience in the technology space. We've been in the tech space for a very long time, and we have worked with all sorts of people, and we've grown over the last 15, 20 years. The last 2 decades have been a major growth economically also, as well as in the technology space as well. In fact, now India is breaking its shackles from just being a workshop or a back-end office to actually creating products of their own. We are creating not only products, we are creating solutions, we're getting patents globally. Of course, Polygon is a very big success story, which comes from India. Polygon is one of the biggest success stories, in fact. Like this, there have been many success stories. Now, Africa has very good youth and young, the population is young. Over the next few decades, all the other countries will have aging populations or middle-aged populations, while Africa will have a young population for a longer period of time. I think we need to harness our youth well in Africa. And I think that's the big key. And that's not difficult. A lot of them are hungry for a lot of information. I keep getting a lot of news, what's happening. Recently, we worked in Zambia now. We're doing the Indo-Zambia Blockchain Alliance started there. We're getting a very good traction from there. Education, again, is the very key. We are curating programs specifically for Africa. That's very critical because Africa has different cultural and economic, inflections and vis-a-vis India, but there are a lot of similarities again. So we try to use the models which have worked well in India. Those models. Can you mute yourself? Thank you. Hmm. So yeah, so we're trying to see that those models which we have in India can be replicated. Now, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, Calvin. It's done here. It's tested. We've got a super success ratio in India. It's just a question of replicating it with a little bit of tweaking and feedback from the African diaspora and say, listen, this is how we need. These are our problems. Work around that. That's where the youth comes in now, and they will play a big role because A, they have a lot of ideas. B, they have a lot of exposure to technology now than they used to be 20 years back. C, they have seen the best of products globally, and nothing is out of the range. Everything is accessible. The internet has made it accessible. Blockchain is going to make it even more safe. That's all. And once they understand the value blockchain brings to the table, they will realize that, hey, listen, we are going to be indispensable. I'll give you an example. In India, for example, as per the report by NASSCOM, by 2030, we require in India 800,000 blockchain professionals. That's a lot of professionals. Right now, we have about 60 to 70,000 professionals, which is a drop in the ocean. Imagine that every year you require so many people, almost 100,000 people every year. And listen, there's a huge opportunity even for a lot of African youth to actually intern and get some really good jobs here. Remote, they don't have to come here. That's the best part of it. They don't have to come here. So at India Blockchain Alliance, we actually encourage a lot of African youth to come and learn, work on the projects along with us, and really understand what's this magic all about. In fact, right now, as we speak, Kelvin, I must have got at least 15 or 20 African interns and people working along with us on multiple projects in multiple countries. And they're all sitting in Africa and enjoying their life there as well, enjoying home, and yet a good exposure to an outside world, which otherwise becomes difficult. So I think an alliance put together brings a lot of exposure, real life exposure, real life projects, real experiences, rather than just only academic success. I think blending it together is the key to making African youth really powerful.
Yes. So at AfriDes, we believe that education plays a very critical role in accelerating not just adoption, but in manpower development. So what role does education play in the Indian African Alliance, particularly in developing digital skills among African youth?
Yes, see, education is, as we've already discussed, is critical. Yes, I think what we've done in India is made very specific programs for specific industries. You cannot have a general. You can have, of course, a foundation program which gives you the basics. What we've done beyond that is we have, for example, we've taken our program that blockchain for supply chain, blockchain for the manufacturing sector, blockchain for the utility sector, blockchain for e-governance, blockchain in the education sector, blockchain and AI, blockchain and IoT, blockchain and cybersecurity. So there are multiple, there are many more, of course. There are about 25, 30 programs. What we do is we've also curated an assessment program and how we assess the youth on how they can actually get into the ecosystem. Do they have any shortcomings? If they have any shortcomings, how to take a small bridge program and make up those shortcomings. Even programs on crypto, for that matter. There are crypto. Nigeria loves crypto, and I know that. But crypto is not a bad word. Crypto is a great word, but it also caution you how not to fall for scams, how not to get into trouble, how to use crypto from a positive perspective. I think that's important for our youth to know. They should also know that, there is no quick rich stuff happening in the blockchain space. You can't get rich overnight by just investing in crypto and some harebrained schemes, some of them. You've got to be careful about everything. Blockchain is a revolution. It's a technology. Crypto is speculation. That's different. You should have your journey from speculation to revolution. Understand crypto? Yes, great. So also, for example, we have an agriculture colleges in India, universities where we have specifically blockchain and AI interventions, how blockchain and AI can actually help this sector. And we've got lots of pilots coming out from there. We are doing a lot of work in the manufacturing sector. We've been doing it about 18, 20 sectors. So in each sector, what we've done is, while we have the foundation programs, we also have the programs which are specific to the sector. So people can realize, okay, I'm in this sector, this is for me. Because each sector has their own challenges, own problems. Therefore, if you really make something more personalized, that's going to succeed, not very generic programs. So, the idea is personalization, dedication, and then what we do is we work with a lot of our partners and help our students get placed with them also. We understand from the industry what is the requirement. In fact, that's one of the things I'm going to be talking to you about. There's a huge platform we've created now for all the youth to come on the platform, learn, earn, intern, enjoy life. So I'll be bringing that to you very soon, Calvin. Just testing it now.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. In every marriage or alliance, there are peculiar challenges. So what are the challenges that we foresee or we see with the Indian-African alliances, and how can we work collectively to address those challenges?
Yes. See, we all come from different countries. Your challenges, you know better. In India, our challenges, we know better. But then, just like as I said, it's a marriage, it's an alliance. You sit down together and understand each other's challenges, address them with solutions which we have, and customize. As I said, in India, for example, India has a lot of people who are vegetarian. Okay, I'm not, but a lot of Indians are. So McDonald's has created a vegetarian burger, especially for India. And so has so has got Taco Bell, and so has Subway. There is a completely vegetarian Subway in India. Now, as they say, as I say, when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. So in India, they've customized and made it so that people become, attracted to it. So I think we need to have a lot of customization. One shoe does not fit all. The one challenge is the different dynamics of the countries. The second is the economics, even the economic health of each country. There are a lot of challenge. The third, governments. Governments have got their own agendas sometimes. We need to bring this into the agenda. Now in India, it's come. It has taken a few years. It has taken the last 5 years to make that happen. But it can happen faster now because more governments are adopting faster. One of the biggest things we can do together is tell the government, we will do a POC for you, proof of concept for you, and show that it works. And I will do it without charging you a single dollar. See it and then pay us. That is proof of concept. I think that we need to work with. Everybody thinks, oh, blockchain, very expensive. Blockchain, it's not going to work. Blockchain, it's not scalable. Guys, these were things 5 years back. It's not the same anymore. Things have changed. People have changed. Mindsets have changed. Technology has changed. Everything has become better now. It does, doesn't it? Even today was the launch of the India's iPhone 16 in India. It's changed. The iPhone has changed 16 times. So everything changes. So another challenge which I see is sometimes it is the language also. Sometimes language barriers come in. Sometimes you cannot have the proper communication a proper communication channel needs to be established. A proper collaboration channel needs to be established. Proper courses have to be put in place. These are small challenges. The biggest challenge still is the same, Kelvin. It's the government. Government, we need a little bit of a government blessing and say, yes, this is great. We need government endorsements and say, yes, this is good. We'll encourage you. We try you. We don't want money from the government. We want support from the government. That, I think, is very critical. I think we also need to address a lot of challenges by writing joint white papers. Joint papers which both people from both sides research. When you do research, these challenges start dissolving because people start understanding and calibrating much better. That's very critical also, because it's a challenge for people to understand. I may be here in the blockchain, food chain. Somebody else is here. How do we bring that disparity to here? How do we bring it together? That's a big challenge. Finance is a challenge. Money is a challenge. People have got great ideas. They don't have access to the funds. That's a challenge. Try and mitigate that as a challenge. That's also a big challenge. As an alliance, when we start, when we do a major alliance, then all the partners from all over the globe step in and say, listen, all right, Raj and Kelvin are doing this great. Let's bring things to Africa, not just India. So now we have two big markets. We have India as a big market. We have Africa as a market. These are the only two markets left, my friend. These are the only two markets in the world. Everything else is saturated or inaccessible. That's the space we are. The challenges are nothing but opportunities. I see them only as opportunities. I don't even look at them as a challenge. If the challenges are not there, innovation is not there. If innovation is not there, opportunities don't come out. Therefore, I see all the challenges which we list down as challenges are nothing but great opportunities for us to make a big difference in both the economies.
Yeah. So, what are the specific programs or initiatives being launched by the Indian Blockchain Alliance to foster tech education and entrepreneurship in Africa?
Hey, one is, of course, we are setting up centers of excellence, which is like a sandbox, a digital sandbox. I call it the digital sandbox inside universities. We are also doing it with corporates. For example, we are doing it with, in India, we are doing it with Press Trust of India, where we are doing initiatives, we are creating solutions for the publication industry. We are doing it for the Producers Guild of India, where we are creating solutions for the media and entertainment industry. We are likewise doing with different associations. We are trying to bring associations together, not just India, not just in the blockchain space, but we are doing work with the Plastic Association, for example. We are doing work with the Manufacturers Association. We are identifying challenges with their problems and trying to see if we can mitigate it with blockchain. So a sandbox at the university level is great. That is one. The second thing we are doing is we're opening 18 chapters of India Blockchain Alliance right across India. So our outreach becomes, we have an outreach program now. That is a great space because India is a big country, just like that. So is Nigeria. If we open different chapters in different states and different cities, we encourage people from all those cities to come to those places, do a lot of experiments, do a lot of work in that, get training, get certification, and then work towards making something happen, get live projects to work on, get internship opportunities, a whole new world for them. So right now, by the end of the year, we'll have 18 new chapters across India. We already opened 4 are open, another 13, 14 more in the pipeline. Also, we've now established a complete a bridge. What is the bridge? We've established a bridge with Dubai, for example. Dubai, there are a lot of blockchain companies there. So we have a lot of people from them coming to India to understand the India market. And we send people from India to Dubai, to United Arab Emirates to understand their markets. We could do similar bridges along with Africa, UAE. We built the same bridges we've built. We'll invite you to come walk with us. Don't create something new. It's already there. Come walk with us. It's a big world. It's a huge, the road is open. It's a highway, my friend. Let's walk together. That's another initiative we're doing. So education is one. Sandboxes are the other. Opening outreach programs. We're doing a lot of meetups. We do a lot of events across the country. In fact, the biggest event in India is going to happen in January next year. It's like the Olympics of blockchain happening by the largest publication house in the country. Align with us, and we are doing it together. So that's another thing which we do, a lot of events to make people understand, get exposure, network, talk. Or everybody comes there. VCs come there, products come there, platforms come there, blockchains come there, youngsters come there, academia comes there. So everybody it's like a melting pot we are creating. And then apart from this, we do, apart from the events, education events, chapters, that's started. We also encourage a lot of youngsters to set their own startups. So we encourage young startups. We help them with incubator programs. We have a lot of incubators partners which help them actually make something beautiful. So we do that, and we can bring the same thing as an alliance. We can bring it together in Africa and give exposure to all our African leaders.
As we come to the close of the podcast, what are your closing thoughts, and what does the future look for the Indian Blockchain Alliance?
Well, in the last, when we started, we were 3 people. Okay. Today, the entire We're about 200 plus now. So I think we've grown. I think we've grown faster than most other businesses have grown. That's one part of it. The future is we want to become one. Whenever there was an advertisement. I'll share with you a little line. When we were young, there was a company called Jensen and Nicholson. They used to sell wall paints. So they had a slogan: whenever you think of color, think of us. So for India Blockchain Alliance, whenever you think of blockchain, you think of us. That's what I want India Blockchain Alliance to be, and all the alliances we are working together with. Now, from 200, it could be 2,000 in another year. We are growing really fast, and we are growing because we've done some really hard work over the last 6 years. Like I know you since the last 4-5 years now, Kevin. The last 5-6 years, we've grown. Now we are doing really things at the very highest apex level, the military level, government level. That came only due to hard work over the last 5-6 years. So you will see India Blockchain Alliance doing so much more with January 2025, launching it into another stratosphere altogether. We're getting into the real big heavyweight space, and that's, I think, is still the tip of the iceberg. I'm also creating a younger generation of guys who will take over the mantle after I maybe retired. I'm not retiring right now, but not for the next 10-15 years at least. I don't think so. But when I do, I'd like to leave it in good hands to see, all the hard work we put in doesn't go waste. It takes it to the next generation. So take the Olympic torch forward. So we are growing, and we'll keep growing.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you, Raj Kapoor. We are looking forward to an amazing Indo-African alliance to advance digital future of Africa, not just for the current generation, but for the future generation as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.